Social proof, everything you need to know. When we're not sure how we should behave, a critical source of information we draw from is other people's behavior. Learn how you can use this bias to steer customers' decisions and how to avoid it when you're the customer. Defining social proof. Social proof is the tendency to be swayed by other people's choices, especially in ambiguous circumstances. That's when we tend to look to those around us for clues about what the right way to behave is. Social proof. Social proof is our tendency to be influenced by what others do, how they think and behave. Social proof works particularly well in situations of uncertainty. It's the reason you'll remain seated even though you're itching to stand up and walk around during the third hour of a brainstorming session. But as soon as someone more daring stands up, you follow suit. Social proof is the reason it feels strange not to have your camera on during a Zoom call when everyone has theirs on, and the reason why we would put our masks on and then cast them aside at the drop of the hat, pun intended, during the COVID-19 pandemic. How does it work? Remember that famous diner scene from When Harry Met Sally and that classic one-liner, "I'll have what she's having"? Social proof works just like that. When we're acting based on social proof, we aren't aware that the choices we make are arbitrary. When we rely on social proof, we aren't acting rationally. We simply rely on a shortcut. If people like it, then it's probably worth it. Social proof works particularly well in situations of uncertainty. It's a huge help for undecided or indecisive customers as it signals the preferred option and helps build trust. Social proof works particularly well in situations of uncertainty. It's a huge help for undecided or indecisive customers as it signals the preferred option and helps build trust. Why does it work? The evolutionary explanation is that this copycat strategy is helpful in a world where humans are born prematurely, at least in comparison to other mammals, and asked early on in their lives to perform complex tasks. Imitation is quicker. A monkey see, monkey do approach saves us time and energy because it provides ready-made solutions to various problems. So, as little children, we learn many things quickly, which we can modify later if need be, but sometimes we don't. And that's when social proof shortcuts take over. Not to mention that any diversion from how the group behaves is threatening and potentially harmful. Usually looking at what the majority of people are doing is a right indicator of what the correct course of action is. But it can also lead to diffusion of responsibility. Behavioral economics and psychology in marketing. Online masterclass. Imitation is quicker. A monkey see, monkey do approach saves us time and energy because it provides ready-made solutions to various problems. So, as little children, we learn many things quickly, which we can modify later if need be, but sometimes we don't. And that's when social proof shortcuts take over. Not to mention that any diversion from how the group behaves is threatening and potentially harmful. Usually looking at what the majority of people are doing is a right indicator of what the correct course of action is. But it can also lead to diffusion of responsibility. Social proof, the undiscovered power and hidden pitfalls of this well-known principle. For example, we are less likely to help out a stranger if surrounded by a large group of people who also are doing nothing, the bystander effect. We won't report smoke in a room if other people aren't concerned about it either. And, fun fact, we are less likely to flag, report, a YouTube comment if many people have already done so. However, even though social proof can sometimes make us passive, reading social information accurately is an essential skill to have. It can literally save your life, safeguard you from social embarrassment, and more. Imagine you're in a burning movie theater and everyone's rushing to the door whilst you remain seated. Ignoring what others are doing in this scenario is definitely a fatal mistake for you. And it's no wonder that social proof is used as a marketing technique to get people to buy certain products. Since it's one of the most prevalent techniques, customers are used to seeing it to the point where they've become immune to social proof or, straight up, overlook it. Think of it as antibiotic resistance. The more traditional ways of using social proof still work, but they might not work as well as they used to. That's why we'll explore both classic and more innovative ways to use social proof experiments. Don't drop that towel. We can see how the actions of others influence us when we're around them, but could the actions of strangers we've never even met inform us of what choices to make? Dr. Robert Cialdini, a professor in psychology, wanted to test out this idea. He wondered if by changing the text on the eco cards in hotels he could get more people to reuse hotel towels. Remember the card in the bathroom prompting you to reuse your bathroom towels? It's often a standard environmental appeal, the one we all mostly ignore: save water, care about the planet. It's not like you don't care, but you still drop the ball by dropping the towel anyway. Cialdini hypothesized that this could be fixed if we simply told people that others don't drop their towels. He designed several cards using social proof. The first card read, "The majority of our guests reuse their towel at least once." Visitors who saw this became 26% more likely to reuse their towel than those who saw just a standard environmental appeal. The second card read, "The majority of guests who stayed in this room reused their towel at least once." 49.3% of those who read it reuse.